All right, so today we are talking about nonprofit organizations.
That wasn't very soft.
You like said it to the entire class. Hey, I dare you to say.
The better question is, how many people would actually watch this and would actually pick up on it? This is Roman numeral 2. The first one was business organizations. That was from last week on Thursday for you guys. Okay, so Roman numeral 2 is looking at nonprofit organizations. So far we've been talking about all these for-profit companies. Sole proprietorships, partnerships, corporations, franchises, all are in it for the money. Okay? They want cash. Now, nonprofit organizations are obviously not in business for money. What are they in business for?
Nonprofit.
Helping people. These are our nice, warm, fuzzy companies. They want to help people. Okay? They're not in business to try and make money. They are in business to try and provide something to people. Okay? They're trying to help people. Now, there are a lot of different types of nonprofit organizations, and some of them may surprise you. For example, did you know that Chatard is nonprofit?
Yes.
Did you?
We went over that in common.
Excellent. Okay. Now, here's the thing is that nonprofit organizations, does that mean that they don't collect money for their product? No. Why do they still have to collect money for their product?
To run their business. To keep it running.
Nothing is ever really free. Remember we talked about that. Okay? But to basically keep the organization going, to be able to help people, they need to charge money for the product. So whenever I talk to any type of class, and I talk about schools for the most part are nonprofit, okay? That blows people away, especially when you are in a private school that you have to pay a tuition. And people are like, wait a minute, I have to pay a tuition, I have to pay all these fees. How is it nonprofit? You've got to remember that they are charging money to be able to pay for things in here. And if you looked at it in accounting, what are some of the costs associated with running the business that is Chatard?
Faculty.
Faculty is huge. What do you have to pay for the faculty? Salary. Benefits. Okay, salary and benefits. Benefits are huge. Benefits are usually more than the salary. Okay? Salary, benefits. What else do we have to pay for here? Electricity.
Water.
Water.
Utilities.
Utilities as a whole. Yes.
Cafeteria food.
Utility expenses.
Yes, you have to pay for food.
Utilities expense.
Insurance expenses.
Textbooks. What?
Oh, miscellaneous expenses.
Wait, what is that called?
Yes.
To own this, like to have.
The rental.
Supplies expense. Make a worksheet.
So, guys, the point that I'm trying to make is nonprofit organizations include a lot of them that you're familiar with and maybe some that you're not. So, I wanted to talk about a couple of the types, okay? So, I'm going to tell you right now, I'm going to go through some of the types. I am telling you that it is not including all types of nonprofits, okay? So, I'm going to highlight some of the ones that you probably are less familiar with. So, there is one broad type of nonprofit, it's called cooperative. And a cooperative is a business that operates for the shared benefits of its owners, okay? A cooperative is where you have a group of consumers, usually, that get together and they are going to work to try and provide a good or a service to their group, okay? So, you have three types of cooperatives. You can have a consumer cooperative, a service cooperative, or a producer cooperative. And each of those types of cooperatives are going to depend upon what they are actually providing, what they actually do. Okay? So, cooperatives as a whole is where there's a group of consumers that will get together and they are trying to, a group of people that will get together to try and benefit all within the group. Okay? That's generally what it means. So, first type is a consumer cooperative. A consumer cooperative purchases goods in large quantities and then they sell them to their members. This would be, an example of this would be, there's a lot of organic food cooperatives out there. Okay, so what happens is that they will have a bunch of consumers that will get together. Okay, they will buy organic products. They will buy things in bulk. Okay, it's like going to Sam's Club. Okay, you go and buy a whole bunch of stuff in bulk, and then you separate it out into individual pieces, individual products. And then the members of Cooperative can come in and they can go and buy those individual pieces, okay, for cheaper. So for example, with organic food cooperatives, oftentimes what they will do is that they will go, and sometimes they will even make the food themselves, so they will grow the food, and part of being part of the cooperative is that you may have to provide basically some service hours, where you're gonna work the garden, you're gonna be in charge of, going through and weeding or watering or whatever, or picking some of the food, and then when they actually harvest all of that food, whoever is in the cooperative, okay, will get a discounted price, okay, for the food that they actually grew, okay? The idea being is that they're all together, okay, they all can work together and they can all provide things to be able to make the food, and so maybe it may be working service hours, maybe it's going to be actually providing money, okay? But they all are going to benefit in the whole, in the end, where they're going to get a whole bunch of all the food that was grown. Whereas by themselves, they probably wouldn't necessarily have the land or the time or the space or the energy to be able to do it by themselves. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Yes? Okay. As I was talking, I was just thinking, I have a friend in a family that I know that lives in North Dakota, that they live in the city and they really like fresh produce, okay? But they don't have any space to be able to have a decent garden for their family. So they actually contribute to a consumer cooperative where they actually buy in and they own some of the farmland with the cooperative, but they don't work the land. They provide the money to be able to buy some of the resources they need, but they do benefit from the standpoint of when the harvest time comes around, they get a bunch of the crops, okay? Either for free or for a reduced cost, depending upon how the cooperative is set up, okay? So that's a consumer cooperative. Service cooperative, you are probably more familiar with. Service cooperatives offers their members a service. The best example of a service cooperative, credit unions. Anybody belong to a credit union instead of a bank?
Is that like Indiana members? Oh yeah.
Indiana Members Credit Union, Teachers Credit Union. Anybody belong to a credit union? Just one? Okay. Why would you belong to a credit union rather than a bank? Thoughts? Interest on what? For what? What are the two functions of a bank? What do you use a bank for? Storage, put your money in, and to get money out for a variety of purposes. It could be opening a business, could be buying a house, could be buying a car, variety of different things, right? So two purposes for a bank. One, to be able to store money in, and one, to take money out. Both of those will have interest attached, right? So if you're storing your money in a bank, you are going to earn interest, okay, on your savings account. Now we'll talk more about investments after Thanksgiving, but generally speaking, the interest from a savings account is going to be pretty low. It's going to be less than 1%. If you're getting 1%, you're doing really, really, really good off of a bank account, okay? The other side of things is that you taking money out, okay? You borrowing money, you're going to have to pay the money back plus interest, okay? So the idea of a service cooperative, okay, Teachers Credit Union, Indiana Members Credit Union, both credit unions, they will do the same function as a bank. However, remember, they're in the business to try and be nice to their customers. So what do you suppose is going to happen to their interest on their bank accounts, your savings account, or the interest on their loan? Neither one will be very high, right? So they're not going to offer you a very high interest rate on your savings account, and they're not going to charge you a whole lot of interest on the loans. Okay? So the advantages is that obviously you could you're not going to get a very good rate on your savings account, but you could get a very good rate on, for example, a car loan. Okay? By the way, can you use both a bank and a credit union? Sure. Yes, you could. Why would you want to do that?
You get the best of both worlds.
What's the best of both worlds? What would you get better at a bank?
Like,
keeping your money in there and getting interest out from that, but what would you get better at a credit union?
Money out.
Taking your money out, interest on a saving, or interest on a loan. Okay, for example, one point in time, I do have a bank account, but I also had a car loan through Teachers Credit Union. Teachers Credit Union, in order to be a member, in order to be in the credit union, you need to have a savings account. Guess what the minimum balance is for your savings account? $5. You need to have a savings account of $5. Yeah, you need $5 to open the savings account, and then you can get out a loan. Okay, so I did not have an account at Teachers Credit Union. However, they did offer me the best interest rate on my car loan. So I went and opened up a $5 savings account there, and I got a car loan. I have since paid off that car loan. I still have a $5 savings account at Teachers Credit Union. Okay, so the point is that service cooperatives are good because they will offer a better rate for their customers. All right, third type of cooperative is a producer cooperative. Producer cooperatives are specifically, obviously, for producers. Okay, basically, it's going to organize a bunch of producers, get them together, and get them the best conditions possible, get them best marketing, best prices for their products. Okay, pretty much producer cooperatives are going to be for agricultural products. So I know at one point in time, I think I read something about cranberries. Okay, you know those? You seen those Ocean Spray cranberry commercials?
Yeah.
Okay, so there are cranberry farmers that they do not work for Ocean Spray. Okay, but they do need to sell their cranberries, for example, to companies like Ocean Spray for Ocean Spray to be able to make their juice. So what they do is that all the cranberry farmers get together in a producer cooperative. Okay. And they can then bring all of their cranberries to Ocean Spray and say, hey, we want to sell you all of our cranberries and we want all to get the same price. So it ensures that everybody gets the best price for their product. Another example of this, this has become really popular, particularly for coffee beans in other countries. There's coffee cooperatives, so coffee farmers can go and basically make sure that they get a good price for the company that actually is eventually going to buy them. For example, Starbucks has particular coffee cooperatives that they will actually work with, and they will make sure, because the producer cooperative will make sure that they have the best quality beans that they have to offer, and they will make sure that they get all the farmers, the individual coffee farmers, the best price possible. Okay?